Let's expand your knowledge of adjectives just a little bit here. We're going to add a new class of adjectives. So to review, we know first and second declension adjectives. And those are adjectives like kalos, kale, kalon. You'll have three principal parts: os, a or a, and on. And you know third declension, two termination styles, like sophron, sophron, or alethes, alethes, alethes. And you actually have run into a type of first-third in things like talas, talina, talan. Remember, first and third, the masculine and neuter are going to be third declension, and the feminine is going to be first declension. The same thing with adjectives that we're going to deal with here. These are the most common first and third declension adjectives. So the first style is, the main style is going to be this takus, takeya, taku, quick. So we're going to have our masculine and our neuter are going to be third declension, and our feminine is going to be first declension. So let's take a look first at the feminine, the first declension. So this will always be the pattern, us, ea, u. Our stem there, us, ea, u. That's going to be a bit like presbus with some modification. So in the feminine, takeya, takeas, takeya, takeyan. Stem ends in iota, therefore you expect the alpha. And in the plural, takei, takeon, takeis, takeas, and the vocative takei. So you should have no problem with the feminine version of this adjective. Now the masculine and neuter, these are our third declensions, and the stem is actually going to be take. Right, so from us and u, masculine and neuter, the stem take. So takus, takeos, take, takun, right, presbun. Right, so this is not a strange accusative singular ending, and the vocative takus. And in the plural masculine, takes. So we've got es, contracted, es, takeon, takesi, takes, again another contraction, and the vocative takes. We look at the neuter, we get taku, takeos, take, taku. Right? That accusative is not a surprise. Takeya, notice there is no contraction. Takeon, same as the masculine. Takesi, same as the masculine. Takeya, no surprise, it's the same as the nominative, there's no contraction, and takeya. So whenever you run into an adjective like takus, takeya, taku, bradeos, bradus, or whatever it might be, you see this us, ea, u, decline it like takus. Now the other first, third declension adjective we're going to cover in this lesson is a very, very important one, pas, pas upon, which means all or every. And let's start by talking just about how it's declined. So our masculine and neuter, our third declension, our feminine, which has a very different stem, not very different, but it's got a different stem, is first declension. So let's take a look at the first declension first. So pasa, pases, pase, pasan. So this is a bit like thalassa. And then the plural, pasai, pason, pasais, pasas. Declining this is not going to be a problem. Now, in the masculine and neuter, the thing to keep in mind is that the stem is actually pant. So once you know that the stem is pant, it will decline very straightforward third declension. So pas, pantos, panti, panta, pantes, panton, pasi, pantas. And in the neuter, pan, pantos, panti, pan. Nominative and accusative are the same. Plural, panta, always ending in alpha, panton, pasi, panta. So declining pas, pasapon, not a problem, provided you remember that the stem for the masculine and neuters is pant. Now, how do we use it? We can find pas, pasapon in 3 different positions. The first position would be in the attributive position. Remember, the attributive is between the article and the noun. So, he Pasapolis, the whole city, or hoi pantes anthropoi, here in the plural, the whole of the people, the whole of the men. And here we're considering this whole of the men as a single unit. That is, they're a group, considering the group. So the attributive, we could even say the whole of the men, or something like that, the whole body of people. So we keep that article in there and translate the whole city as a unit. In the predicative position, remember that's outside of the noun of the article noun grouping. Pantes hoi anthropoi, all the men, all of the men, we might say in English. Right? This is not partitive, this is all the men. They're individually, we can see all of them, but we're thinking of them as a group. Right? So all of the men. And the third way is without the article altogether. So, pas anthropos, every man. Or pantes anthropoi, all men. And here we're thinking of all men as individuals. They're not a group, they're not a collective, just all men as individuals, each one thought of individually. So the use of pas, pasapon not only is important to know how to decline it, but also the use, the position is very important for how you translate it.